National Police Commissioner Khehla Sitole has urged Northwest residents to head to the polls, promising they will be safe. He visited Mahikeng today. The Northwest has been identified as a high-risk area. Sitole says he's deployed 84,000 police officers and members of the army to ensure stability during the vote. But residents in the Ditha-kong village have barricaded roads in protest against poor service delivery. eNCA reporter Silindelo Masikane is covering the story for us. She joins us now live there. So, Sli, tell us about this deployment and how exactly it's going to work.
Yes, we did hear from the National Police Commissioner today assuring citizens across the country that they will be able to exercise their democratic right to vote, and they will be able to, exercise that right without fear or without favor. And what we understand, of course, following that briefing and that show of force really today, as we had a parade from the SANDF, the police services, as well as traffic officials here in the Northwest, what we understand is that this deployment here, this particular area being a high-risk area, will be employing these services of the SANDF, and we understand that over 5,000 officers will be patrolling the areas. We also understand that at least 2 police officers will be stationed at the over 1,700 voting stations here in the Northwest. And we did, of course, have a chat with the National Police Commissioner after that parade. Let's have a listen to what he had to say.
Province is one of the 2 provinces that are referred to as the hotspots, and is a province which is under stabilization even before the elections, which means there has been high density deployment in this particular province to make sure that it stabilizes that is as a hotspot. But Northwest again is part of the 51,000 deployments across the country, whereas the South African Police Service, in order to demonstrate a state of readiness, we decided to deploy a total contingent of 51,000 to protect the voting stations. Over and above that, there's interventions, stabilization interventions, which total the initial number to 84, that is 1,000. We, as you also see, the defense complement as part and parcel of the parade. I think Northwest is one of the provinces which has been identified for defense deployment, as you see them. And we also would like to extend our appreciation and also compliment the Defense Force for both their discipline and their patriotism in making sure that we work together in creating a safe and secure environment.
It can't be comforting for people who are actually going to vote to hear that they're in a hotspot area. Sli, what's the mood?
Certainly. In fact, when we actually spoke to the MEC for Community Safety, he was really, really shocked to learn of the fact that this area is a high-risk area, because it's the first time since the dawn of democracy that it's ever been classified as a high-risk area. But following, months of protests last year, which we saw in April, that led to the former Premier Supra Mahumapelo having to step down, the violent protests that we saw, it's quite understandable, because even leading up to the elections, we've been seeing that one school which was meant to be a voting station was torched, as well as IEC officials which have had some difficulty over the past 2 days with the special votes. One IEC official vehicle was torched in Khanyisa. We also understand that an empty ballot box was also torched in Potchefstroom. So the mood on the ground is seemingly quite anxious, but we understand, of course, from some communities like the Ditha-kong community just outside Mahikeng, is that particular village is planning not to vote at all. In fact, when we were in the area earlier, roads have already begun being barricaded with rocks and rubble. They're saying they don't see any point in voting because for the past 25 years, they've been complaining about basic services like electricity, water, housing, even just having tarred roads. But we did speak to some of these community members. Let's have a listen to what they had to say.
As we are a community at Ditha-kong, we have decided to kamoso our vote because of harna ditirelo. 25 years ago, I see bar direle sepe se re ka reng re ka ba voutela. So kamoso re le baagi ba Ditha-kong re decide gore re ska ra vote kamoso at all.
Ke re lela ka ditsela. Re lela ka diapholo. Tsela tsa rona di maswe. Re lela ka maborogo. Ga tshelwe sepela go tshola di santala mo go tsamaiwa. Re lela ka metsi. Ga rena metsi mo di strateng. Re tsamaya re kopa metsi mo metsing. Re lela ka sekololo a se bona le nyena. Re kopa dikatapula ra di ka go ntsha dinoga tse di tletseng mo. Tlhare tse di ka re lomela dinoga di ka re lomela bana. Ditlhare di dintsi bo ja mo bontsi. Ke tsone tse tse re lelang ka tsone. Ga rena ditirelo mo. Ga re direle sepe.
It really is shocking that we still here in 2019 people say that they have no basic services. That's where we'll leave it for now. Reporter Silindelo Masikane in the Northwest.